Hey, big
There,
bro.
there he is. The man.
What's going on?
What's
What's
up?
up, big dog?
Ain't nothing, ain't nothing.
We appreciate you coming through.
Oh man, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Man, already automatic, bro. You the superstar, bro. You know, blessing us on our first double digit episode, number 10 in this thing. Man.
you know, it's we're a family. Got to make it
Yeah.
happen.
Already.
Oh,
You already know that. Right now, we got him sitting on the broadcast. We'll begin shortly. Let me load the comments right here so I can see everything that's going on while we're here with it. I think Rachel Henderson is our biggest fan.
gotta
The
be.
fellow
She's
people.
all Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's up? Rachel can hear us?
Yeah.
Not yet. Not yet. Nah, I got us on
Okay.
got us on preview, so hold on one second. I'll get us set to
She
go in.
already done left a comment saying what's up though.
Yeah, she
Okay.
said what's up. I just need to get
I
us
like
right.
those sweatshirts.
Appreciate we'll get you on when everything open back up and we can.
When the world
Right.
opens back up in January 21.
Yeah, you crazy, man. You crazy. Let me get this back up, man. Pete, what are you on your cell phone?
Yep, I'm on my cell phone.
Can you flip the phone the other way? Cause it's gonna look awkward when I have us all three up. Your picture's gonna be so small in comparison to ours because we're on the
Like that.
computer. Let me see. Oh nah, it
Oh, I
blacked
do
you out.
know what you mean. Like that.
Nah, you blacked out right now.
Nah, he on there.
You can see him?
Yeah.
I can't see him. The switcher can't see him.
Do you want should I send a link to
Just
my
go back.
email?
Yeah. Can you do that?
Yeah, put it on my computer.
Yep.
Okay, hold on.
And then what I'll do is yeah, we'll give him oh, you can hear us. That's what's up, Rachel. Yeah. My bad. I didn't hear it. I don't know how to really control this thing. So for those who can hear us, we will begin shortly. Um, you got athletes, so oh, I can see his hat right now. It's just really dark. But yeah, we'll be starting shortly, y'all. Go Vols. We got three of us in the building today.
Rachel says she's a big fan. She needs a new championship shirt for real.
Okay. I mean, me too, cause I mean, I love what I did, but dang, 08 was a while ago. You know what I mean? Rachel, make sure anytime, because you always checking us out, and I greatly appreciate that. Make sure you go ahead and share this on your page as well. Help us out. Spread the love. We would appreciate it. I definitely dropped the MF bomb live. Sorry, guys. That was unintentional. I didn't think y'all could hear me.
Okay,
It
we're
is
unfiltered.
unfiltered. I mean, my parents don't really like to hear that language. It just comes out sometimes. Sorry, mom. Sorry, dad. Yeah. Yeah, nah, Rachel, we don't have y'all locked in yet on the video. We want to make sure that our guest is with us and y'all can see everybody clearly. So give us 1 second and we're coming in briefly. We could do them like this though, Book. Say what up to the people. Hold
What's up,
up.
everybody? We appreciate you tuning in. This is officially episode 10. We're really excited. Me and Lex have been working really hard. We got a lovely lineup coming up over the next really month and a half, 2 months of some really cool guests. Obviously, we always stay true to our Lady Volleyball, but we also have some other guests joining us that are going to bring a lot of value, a lot of great content. So we're excited
Absolutely.
about that.
I'm definitely excited about that. I'm definitely excited about that. It's going, woo, it's about to be some fire. We're bringing some heat today,
Oh
bug.
yeah.
I'm excited. And guys, we're on episode 10, so clearly, um, you know, Jamel is booked. Jamel J to me, she's booked. J Boogie in the building. So when y'all hear me say that, y'all should know by now who who I'm talking about. All right. Um, we had a we had to go ahead and ask, P to hop on the computer. It's just a little better for everybody, clarity wise and everything like that. So when he hops back on, no biggie. We'll get this thing started. Y'all know we jump right in.
Yeah, make sure you have your questions ready.
Yeah,
We'll do a little Q&A at the end.
absolutely.
What'd you just eat? Wipe mouth.
Almonds, girl. My bad. My bad. And I'm doing this. If y'all see me looking over right now, I'm trying to share this to my pages as well. Gotta make sure we keep it connected.
Thank
Put
you,
the
Rachel. We appreciate you.
all day, Rachel. We gotta do something for you, man. You literally have been on every episode. I don't know if you know that, bug. Uh, I can't. Oh man. Hey, while we're here, what y'all got? Y'all got any questions for us, or while we're waiting for P to hop on in here?
Flo, appreciate it. We're trying to step our game up with the closed captions.
Yo, y'all see us? Y'all see us? Hey, we
Laura
just
said, tell us about the logo design for the collective Unfiltered. Okay.
hey, we can do that. Say hi to the people just so they can hear your voice.
Hey everyone,
So,
marketing director over here.
Marketing
so that
director.
Sandra Garcia, our marketing director. I mean, we sat down and we were just spitfiring ideas. Jay had a great idea, like something to do with the collective. And then we kind of just went around that, to be honest. So we came up with Sandra started drawing. We gathered our four pillars, which Jay pretty much had that already set, and then Sandra got to working. We said, hey, we wanted a puzzle piece. We wanted to be, as you see, the different colors on the hands. I don't know if you can fully see it. So you got like light brown, white, a little tan in there. You know what I'm saying? Some people a little yellow. Um, but we did that, and the collective unfiltered is in one puzzle piece with the microphone. So you got the collective unfiltered with the microphone. Obviously, it's a podcast, and then our four pillars connecting what the collective is. And we promise, guys, as soon as everything kind of gets back up and running, we'll get our gear back out and going, and we'll have something up on our website if y'all would like to support us.
Outside's not open yet, so it's kind of tough to do everything virtually. But we got it coming.
Yeah, and San asked a great question. I think Boog already answered that though. We're definitely do interviews with other people other than the Vol family. Man, our lineup, we can't spill the beans, but just know we got some great guests coming up for you, man. And if y'all have anybody that was a current or former athlete, don't even have to be big in business finance or doing things with equality. But if you know that they're in that industry and they have a good platform, hey, we would love to expand out further. We are going to expand. We got some cultural things coming to y'all as well, so we'll definitely hop on that.
What's up, bro?
What's going on? I
Yeah.
figured it out.
All right. So y'all, we got Peerless Price in the building. I'm gonna get y'all set up 1 second, and we can officially start. Boom, boom, boom.
I should have been an IT, a computer science major or something when I just figured that out.
For real, it's tough. Um, but can you see P?
No.
You
Yeah,
can't
P.
see?
Nah, it's just dark. I hear you clear as day. Yeah, Rachel, we need to get CP next.
Oh, down at the bottom of the screen, click the little video. See if that changes it.
Me?
No, P.
Oh. Um.
Did that change it?
Uh-uh.
What?
Oh man, all this work, P. You gonna be mad if I say go back to the phone, huh? Cause
Man, I'm gonna have to go back out. Let me see. Hold on.
he said I'm gonna have to go back out. Nah, I mean we can literally hear you clear. We just don't have a picture behind it.
What is that? Okay, that's the mic.
Hey, in order to y'all can help me get CP. She been crazy busy. I mean, I've been in contact with her off and on, but haven't really been able to connect and lock really anything down. So
As you can imagine, her schedule is really crazy.
yeah, because our schedule's crazy, and we are like superstar levels up here, and we're like,
We down here.
we just we just a little lower. Ain't nothing crazy, nothing crazy. Oh man. Hey, listen, let's go ahead, Bug, while we're figuring this out, trying to get Pete's picture correct. Why don't you go ahead and introduce him? That way, when he hops on, when we get this visual clear, we can go ahead and handle it. What's up, Josh? He's our producer, man, but people got to work still. He's an essential worker, so that leaves us to do all of this.
Right. Now today, obviously special guest, somebody we consider family, really close to myself and Lex. Um, but for those of you who do not know who Peerless Price is, born and raised Dayton, Ohio, holds a special place in my heart because I grew up in Dayton as well. So we literally, his high school was probably about 15 minutes, 20 minutes away from mine. So, we got that. And then he was a wide receiver at Tennessee, 95 to 98. If you guys remember that 1998 national championship game, Fiesta Bowl, my God, I want to say, MP, you can correct me if I'm wrong, with 199 yards, caught the winning touchdown, over the infamous over the shoulder catch. And then went on to the league. Got drafted NFL. Played 9 seasons, which by a large measure is a fantastic career because the average career is like 3 years, three and a half years, something like that.
Which is
So
crazy.
right, Buffalo, Dallas, Atlanta. So he's definitely been instrumental in the league. So it's definitely a blessing to have him grace the podcast. We're still working through a couple technical difficulties, but
Yeah, it said my browser don't support. I guess
oh,
or it don't support
Oh,
video.
oh, you got Google Chrome?
Not on this one. Hold on.
That's
Kai,
hey,
I know.
hey, look, y'all. This how you know you're getting older. You gotta ask the kids.
Right.
I ain't,
yeah.
I ain't
Try
Safari.
it in if you got Google Chrome. If you pull it up in Chrome, it should be good.
Okay.
I'm in Safari though.
Hmm?
You
Yes.
are?
Hmm.
Yeah, it said my browser didn't support it.
But I think didn't Brittany have to go to Chrome though when she came in? Yeah, I think Brittany Jackson had to go to Chrome when she came in too. Hey, don't make this interview easy on us either, y'all. Y'all got any questions? I know we have a lot of Tennessee followers following us and whatnot. So again, if y'all just now tuning in, you we have Peerless Price special guest, superstar, big bro on the line. We can't wait for y'all to see his smiling face though. We're working on it. And let's spitfire some questions while we're waiting. We normally do this at the end, and we will do this at the end. But what y'all got for us? How's everybody doing during the quarantine? What do y'all think about things starting to open up a little bit? I mean, are y'all staying home? Or are y'all like the first people to sit down in a restaurant and go to the mall? Cause baby, let me tell you what I'm not gonna do. I am not in nobody's restaurant sitting down, and I'm definitely not going to the mall.
No, real tempting. I know today some more businesses opened up here in Atlanta. TJ Maxx, Home Goods, they started to open up. Just kind of like businesses like that.
Mhm.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. Before it was a couple places, but now more and more places are starting to open. Obviously following different rules and
Right.
masks and this and that.
Pete, don't even feel bad. Last week was Jay and I's first time having to be the tech people, and it took us about 20 minutes before we went live. We was like, forget this app. We going to Zoom, what we know. Cheers. Wine night. I don't know what y'all want, but if anybody want to send some red wine, let me know. I'm Rachel said I'm bored and it's stupid now. Hornets coming. Yeah, those killer hornets is something else now. Listen. I don't do nature. I mean, I do nature, but I don't like bugs. So therefore, it's kind of hard for me to do nature. But it's weird because I like to go camping. That's really weird, right?
Slightly.
But I ain't
Slightly.
sleeping in nobody tent on the ground though. Like I need a dope tent,
RV.
RV or something. For real, for real. P, can you still hear us? Think he might have. No, I say he's still here.
It's still up, but we can.
Josh, I didn't mean to put your comment up there.
Been doing that all day.
I know. If you want, go ahead and text P and tell him. You know, if you want to hop back on his phone, that's fine. I was trying to get the proportions right, but it's all good. Hey, who we got in here and where y'all from? That always. I mean, we get people from a little bit of everywhere, so it'd be nice to know where y'all from today. Everybody that's tuning in today, number one, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for your patience and understanding as we get this thing rolling. We had Peerless on here, a little technical difficulty. He'll be hopping back in. Pam, what's up, Pam? Went to church, 10 people in the building, and the pastor preached from the tub. Well, hey, won't he do it? Social distancing at its finest. So I'm talking about. Get the word in. Maria, what's up? Seymour, Tennessee. Thank you for joining in. We love Maria. She also has an excellent Positive Lady Ball page, and she does weekly shows as well. Um, I always like to hop on and give her guest a hard time. What about everybody else? Where y'all listening in from and watching from? Georgia, let's go. Brianna in the building. Let's go.
All right, y'all.
Morristown, Tennessee. That's where you're at, Rachel. That's what's up. Okay. Pam, you're in Nashville. All right. Mooresville, North Carolina. Miss Garcia in the building.
Why you have to say it like
Sandrita. You know I ain't got no.
that? Is there a way you can kick him out of this chat, or he has to leave it on his screen?
Let me try. We got Bristol, Tennessee. What's up, Stephanie? We got Knox Vegas, baby. Technically Merville, but Josh is in the building as well. Um, Josh, if how do we get Peerless back on here? Shelby, hey Kenneth, what's up, man? I've been training Kenneth's daughter since I lived in Knoxville. I left. She's been growing, continuing to work on her game, and let me tell you, now Sandra and I have the luxury of coaching his daughter because they are now in North Carolina. Small world, right?
Small world.
Small world. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'd tell him just hop on his phone, hop back on his phone. He's gonna have to leave the room though.
Okay.
ATL Georgia.
He just left it.
Okay. Yeah, I saw the adjustment happen. So we got Georgia, North Carolina, different parts of Tennessee. Man, all right, we a little region. Trying to go global in this thing though. You feel me?
All right, I need some people from Italy or something.
We're international.
Paris.
Guys, let's see. Jay,
Yes.
South America in the building. Sandrita, yeah, Colombia. Man, Kendall, who you telling? I hope we get some games in too. But we actually met as a coaching staff, and when things first open, we're just not too, just don't feel that comfortable jumping right into it because of a lot of reasons. There was no time to build team chemistry, conditioning. We don't want the girls to go out there and their body do too much and they end up getting hurt. And then obviously, the worst of the worst, we don't want anyone to get the COVID and then we as coaches are responsible for that. But I am down to play later on for sure.
He's up.
Definitely ready to get back in the gym, Josh, man. But Bud Light, Rachel, Bud Light, is that your favorite? I know somebody else that loves Bud Light too. So I won't pick on you today about that. If I'm gonna drink beers, I like IPAs to be honest. P, let us know when you hop back in here and we'll get it
Okay,
going.
can you hear me?
I can definitely hear y'all.
You
I mean
still
hear
can't
you.
see me.
I can't see you, but I can hear you. I don't
This
know.
is
Are you talking?
strange.
Is that your computer or your phone, P?
It's the computer again, but I thought I figured it out.
Oh man. Say
Uh,
what's up to the people anyway while we still waiting.
what's up, world? What's up, people? How y'all doing?
I need to unfortunately go back to the phone if it's not kind of going on the computer.
Okay.
Who when they goes out? Who when you wear a mask? Let me see.
I do.
I do. I'm definitely showing hands on that one. Definitely. I have asthma. I ain't gonna.
Sometimes I find myself I'm driving. I still got my mask on.
I do. I get in the car. I'm like, oh, it's hot. Oh, never mind. We working, y'all. Y'all so patient. We appreciate it. All the other viewers who aren't necessarily coming in, going out, popping back in, hang with us, hang tight. All right, we're coming back in less than 5 minutes. All right. Mask on. Pam said mask on. Absolutely. I think that's the smartest thing you can do, Pam. You got a Vols mask.
Oh, I need that.
Yeah, definitely. Try wearing a mask with allergies. Yeah, ball masks. If you don't make them on your own, Orange Mountain Designs, go ahead. They got their second shipment coming in.
I need to
Try
get that.
wearing a mask with allergies. I do have allergies. I have to take my medicine
I do too.
daily, Josh, and I still gotta wear my mask, man. But it do be all like wet when I take it off, like ah. You know what I mean? Feel like the note.
You and your um sound effects. I can't talk today.
It's okay. I'll help you.
You got to help me out today. I'm
I
just kidding.
got you. Oh, good question. Brianna asked a question. How have you guys been operating your businesses, soccer, basketball, during this COVID? Great question, Bo. You want to start that one out? How's it been for you in soccer?
For a while, I kind of took a break. I'm easing back into it, but for me, doing soccer training, it's really easy for me to keep 6 foot distance and really just I can still demonstrate and coach. So really what I do is when I have my sessions with my goalkeepers is obviously they all know I send out a protocol for how we operate during this time and social distancing. So I just do one person at a time. They keep 6 feet. I set up my cones, and anytime I have to adjust something, they know to just keep 6 feet. And so I'm able to demo. Obviously, I don't have to be right up on them to serve them a soccer ball, so it's pretty simple for me.
Yeah, for me, it's been a little tougher. Obviously, no gyms, and they taking down rims at the park, closing down the
Yeah,
parks. Like, I have police officers kind of patrolling every once in a while, so that there's nobody out there. So for me, it's been a lot tougher. Mainly, all we've been able to do is Zoom lessons for like our AAU organization, and we've been doing that, just for free. And I was hesitant to start like an online pay type thing, obviously for a reasonable price because of this time. Everybody, money is it's tight for many people. But I was so hesitant because I was low key like, oh yeah, things will start to open up. But I am going to ease into back into the private lessons, practicing the social distancing. They'll have their basketball. I'll have my basketball and cones. They don't touch anything. I am very paranoid about that. My anxiety will not allow me to allow you to get within 6 feet. Okay.
the way my life is set up.
It just don't work. Okay. And oh, Pam has a question. When you played internationally, I hear they treat the players like rock stars. Is that true? Yes. Not everywhere you go though.
Not
So
everywhere.
let me keep it like all the way 3,000 with y'all. No, not everywhere, but many places, yes. Obviously, if you are, top WNBA, top collegiate players coming out overseas, yeah, they treat you like royalty. And if you get there and you're performing like a superstar, they definitely keep you in that realm. I mean, you go over there, typically you get a car depending on like my rookie, probably my first 5 years overseas, I shared a car, and after that, I put it in my contract. No, I want my own car, or whatever. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't. Sometimes it's like, okay, we can give you your own car, but we're gonna pay you less on your contract. Nah, it's all right. I share a car. I figure. Uh, but other than that, I mean, it's a typical professional, atmosphere as far as making sure your time management and you have practices and games and community service, which is pretty different when you're in Israel and they're speaking Hebrew and you're at the community service and all you can do is smile and do basketball stuff because you can't really communicate. Yeah, with the kids. But I mean, it's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my 11 years for sure. What we got? Hey, we promised we didn't lure y'all in with P and he ain't coming. I promise you
Y'all heard his voice.
that. But yeah, I mean, we're here for y'all. Any questions that y'all want to ask? We're here for y'all. Nothing. This is easy money. They like bring in the guests. We don't care about y'all. We hear y'all all the time. Rachel, why do they pay more overseas than the WNBA? That's a great question. Taxes have a lot to do with it. We won't really get into that, but taxes have a lot to do with it. Also, there's a little more support. So whoever owns the team, they had to do a lot of work to get that community or the city or the country to kind of back them and their team. So you got a little more money behind it. Now, if you're playing in Russia, you probably got that Russian mafia running that thing. So that money is endless. But But I think that's because, and they also value us as Americans coming in to not only make their teams better, but to make their league better. Whereas in the WNBA, all the players are great players, and unfortunately, we're just underpaid, and undermarketed. But now, obviously, that's changed with the new the WNB what the WNBPA has been able to do. Oh my gosh, we just oh wait, where'd you go? Oh, there he is. We got the man of the hour, y'all. Hold on. Let me get y'all situated so y'all can see what I see. All right. Hold on. Let me there we go. Boom. Hey, what's up, man?
What's
We're
up,
live.
bro?
We're live. Everybody
What's going on?
everybody say what's up to
Technical.
Peerless. Maria, I got your question. What I'm gonna do is since we now have P locked in video and audio, we're gonna go ahead and start and I promise you I will get back to your question later.
All right. So, for those of you that have been logged in, obviously we appreciate you tuning in. I know we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we here now. But if you didn't hear earlier, we got Peerless Price in the building, coming from Atlanta, Georgia. Um, and I just kind of recap his bio just a little bit, but he was a wide receiver at Tennessee. You know, we go hard for our balls. 1995 to 1998, national championship. 1998 Fiesta Bowl against Florida State. Uh, Co MVP right here. Drafted to the NFL 9 seasons. Buffalo, Dallas, Atlanta. So he's got a beautiful resume, and also is a father and a husband. So definitely have a legend in the building.
Obviously, man. Thank you for joining us, P.
Man, thank you ladies for having me, man. It's good to connect with different Vols. Our Vol family is a huge network, and so it's great for me to connect with a Vol soccer player and a Vol hooper. I like it.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
everybody.
Um,
Oh, fans are going crazy. Peerless coaches. Yes, he does coach an AAU female team. You got best catch ever. Peerless. Super excited.
Yeah.
And they're pouring in now, P. They're pouring
Salute.
in.
so honestly, we wanted to kind of talk about, switching gears for you as an athlete. You spent obviously 4 years in college, and then 9 years in the NFL, which is, that's a long career for the NFL. Especially, you come in a position that takes a lot of contact. But how did you kind of transition from being a professional athlete into being, retiring and having businesses? Kind of explain how that process was for you.
Well, initially, so I always tell people I played 9, but on my most of my bios, most people see it says 10 years because that 10th year, I was still rostered, but I was on. So I was basically released for injury
Right.
because I had neck surgery. A lot of people don't know that. They were like, "Dang, Peerless just vanished." Well, and so yeah, so going into that 10th year, I was just like, I mean, I had neck surgery, and I didn't care what it was. You know how we are as athletes. I'm like, so I'm coming back. Like I'm coming
Right.
back to play. So that was my mentality. And so for that whole year, I was still getting paid. And so the transition for me actually took place. Like a lot of people think it should have taken place in that year that they didn't see me playing, but I was actually rehabbing, had on a neck brace for 6 months, sleeping with a neck brace.
Ooh,
The whole time my mentality is like I'm going back and playing. And so,
right.
but it wasn't until after that rehab, going into the next March, he was just like, dude, you he was like, no, I'm not ever releasing you to play. I never wanted to tell you that, but I'm not releasing you to play because you're gonna end up being a quadriplegic if you take a nasty hit. And
Yeah.
so yeah, so literally the transition that was like in March and April, but I was still getting called. That was the Buffalo Bills at the time, so I
Mm-hmm.
was still getting calls like Baltimore Ravens, San Diego Chargers were calling my agent trying to see what my status was. So in the back of my mind, I'm playing like I might take the risk,
Right.
and so, but then talking to my wife, and we had just had our youngest daughter about a year and a half earlier, and they started crying and saying they didn't want me to play, and
Couldn't
so,
do it then.
yeah, so I was like, all right, and so so we're at a Tennessee football game that fall, and literally we're in the hotel room and we get an email about our oldest daughter. Our oldest daughter, Kaden, didn't have a basketball coach that she had signed up to play basketball. We didn't know, but the coach, whoever the coach was, he was just like, "No, I'm not. I can't do it anymore." And so they literally sent the email about they were not going to have a team. And so my wife Nisha's just like, "Oh, why don't you coach him? You like basketball more than football, and you was recruited for basketball." and so and so the first words out of my mouth was, "No, I'm not coaching girls." and so and so that's how the initial transition. That's how the basketball part started of it, and starting the organization, and then the business portion started. You meet a lot of people when you're playing ball, and so I met a couple of people in the Atlanta area and linked up with R. Walker and Associates. He's become probably one of my best friends, Bobby. He runs R. Walker and Associates, and me and him parts like doing construction. We actually helped build a dorm at University of South Carolina. Built a science building at Coastal Carolina, where our oldest daughter playing soccer.
Hey, let's go.
So it's that type of stuff that just playing football, you build those relationships,
hmm
and some of them you hold on to them, and some of them you don't. But that's how the transition was. And I was a business major initially at Tennessee, so the business part and the numbers part comes easy.
Right. Which brings us to congratulations. You completed your Tennessee
Yeah.
degree.
That's
You,
big time, bro.
well,
That's big time.
you know what though? They blasted it out right. Quiet as cap. I still got 3 classes that I got to complete. I'm in midterm right now. so, so they kind of applied the pressure, like this dude better pass all these classes. But yeah, I actually just got done taking a 3 quizzes before I jumped on with y'all because I'm in mini. Y'all know how mini term
Oh
is. You
Yeah.
yes, all accelerated.
yeah, you got the whole semester in 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, it comes fast.
So yep, and I thank you. And I don't know if you know, I switched though. So I was a business major at Tennessee.
Hmm.
Then when so basically when I said I'm decided I'm gonna go back, the catalog had expired, and they were saying I needed like 80 hours, and I was like, whoa. And so
Hold on.
You like
yeah, I
Wait.
listen to this. I needed 12 when I left, and the catalog went to 80. And so they were
Wow.
like, "What do you like now, though?" They was like, "Cause as you've grown, you might not like." And I was like, "You know what? Well, to be honest with you, the business side comes easy for me, like naturally, numbers, looking at the accountants. So, like, you know what interests me? History and psychology." And so my academic advisor, she was just like, she asked me why, and I said, "Well, the psychology part, because I don't." I said, "Coaching these young athletes, I don't understand. I really don't understand how you can see them put in all this work, and you, as a coach, a mentor, a trainer, see how good they are, but they have so much self doubt." And
right.
Oh my gosh.
and
Oh
so
my
that's what interests me about psychology. And I was like, you know what? I want to take psychology because I want to understand the way the brain works, like how their mind works. Because my mind never worked like that. Like, yo, I put in this work, you about to get this work.
Exactly.
And so, but and man, like even like training the guys for the NFL draft because I train receivers for that for Chip Smith. And some of those guys, I'm like, dude, you good, but they don't see that, and it's very interesting because, like I said, I never had that issue.
right.
I
Uh,
mean, I don't think any of us on
Right, and that's
and
what
we're
yeah,
more old school.
separate us. That's why we part of the 3%ers in the world.
Exactly.
exactly. Exactly. Um, so obviously you were able to kind of transition into, more business and all that, which, it's a crazy stat. They say estimated 80% of NFL players go broke after 3 years. How did you help keep yourself in that top 20%?
To be honest with you, that's where the numbers and the business sense came in, right? So, I mean, I like nice stuff. I'm not gonna lie about that, but
We know.
it's certain things that I'm just not gonna do. So I was actually talking to somebody. I was talking to somebody recently, and we were talking about a teammate. He probably made about $60 million, and he was asking me to borrow $100,000 recently. And so, and so
Yeah.
his name came up and somebody was asking me about it and they were just bashing him. And I was just like, well, I said, and they kept saying the houses and the cars. And I was like, well, nah. I said, to be honest with you, like if you just say you buy a car for $100,000. You say 2 years you don't want it, you still gonna get $75,000. It's just not like you just lost the whole $100,000. That's the way
Right.
the media and people portray it, and that's the way people's minds work. I said the main issue, and I said even if they buy the right jewelry, like every watch I have is a Rolex because Rolex increase their prices every 6 months. So I know I'm
Right.
never gonna lose on the watch. So it's just stuff like that I think about now. And so, but I was just like, the problem with it is all of the frivolous spending on stuff that holds no monetary value. You go to the
Right.
club, you spend $20,000. I'm never doing that. And I out, but I never. I am never going to the strip club and making it rain. Never, like, never see me do that. No, I'm not. I'm just
Smart
not
man.
doing that. And so, so it's stuff like that that my mind, I never wrap my mind around. Like, yo, how can you? And believe me, like I didn't have my first drink till I was 30. So I was in the clubs and I can recount every story and how much he spent and how much he spent. I'm just like, yo, I am never ever being that guy. Because that's the problem. When you buying stuff and it holds no value, or you spending on stuff and it holds no value in the end. And of course I've been in business deals and I've lost. Like, but that's part of doing business. But it's just I think it's that was the difference in my mindset in there. And one of my teammates who's a great friend of mine, Aaron Glenn, he's he, he actually was a teammate with the year I was in Dallas, and we became real close because everybody used to ask me when I was younger who was the best corner, and they would expect me to say who was the best corner I competed against, and most people would expect me to say Champ Bailey because we competed at Georgia and Tennessee, and then when we
Right.
got to the league, and I always used to say Aaron Glenn, and he reached out to me, we became close, then we became teammates, but he made this comment to me, and it stuck with me, and he's about 6, 7 years older than me. He said, man, don't ever be one of those guys that's just rich for in your 20s. And so,
Oh wow.
like, yeah, I was like, oh, he said something there. Like, yo, I want to be
Right.
able to lifestyle for the rest of my life.
Right. I
That's
mean,
really
that's so true, so smart, so easy to do. I wasn't dropping 20 grand in the club, but I definitely was spending frivolously. Jay, no. Um,
Hmm. Yeah.
but I mean, I think that's just such a sound advice. Don't be that guy or that woman or that athlete where you're rich in your 20s or rich when you're young when you first start out, and then you look back and it's like, dang, now I got to figure out how to get this all back.
Right. Exactly.
Uh,
that's tough. Um, so I guess you might have answered it a little bit, but for all these athletes now, obviously, I mean, I don't know how much the pay has changed from obviously when you were in the league till now, um, but kind of for any athlete, whether it's NBA, NFL, even females, what advice would you give them going into professional that you wish you would have had then on the field and off the field?
Okay. On the field, I think for me, to be quite honest with you, I would say this, and a lot of people might not like this, that it's really not that hard if you have the right mindset. And the reason I say that is you see a lot of first, second, third round picks who guys 99.9% of the time they're gonna make the team because the team has so much money invested in them. Like you're not gonna give a guy $1 million signing bonus and cut him
right.
in 4 weeks of training camp. You
Right.
give that guy opportunity after opportunity. And I just think mentally, that's the difference. Like when you get there, yeah, darn right, everybody's good.
Yeah.
And that's the shock a lot of guys have. I was in camp with Mercedes Hamilton. He was my teammate at Tennessee too. He was a 5th round pick. No lie, y'all. A week, 10 days in, it's like I can't do this. He was like, "Yo, I'll never play," and quit. Literally walked away from football. Like that was the last time Mercedes played football. And that's what I mean by the mental aspect of it. Because
Oh yeah.
once you get there, like to me, the jump from high school to college, we're going from Meadowdale High School in Dayton, Ohio, to playing in the SEC for Tennessee, who's a perennial top 5 team at the time. That
Mhm.
jump for me was harder than going from Tennessee into the NFL. And so on the field, I would say not even just the athletics part of it. I would go back to the mindset. Like, yo, they drafted me for a reason. I'm that good. I'm that dude, or I'm that girl. Like, I'm here for a reason, and
Right.
it's not. They didn't draft me in this position to go up here and mess it up because I'm a bum. They drafted me because I'm pretty darn good at what I do.
Right.
So you have that mindset and you work with that mindset. I think that separates, the saying goes, the men from the boys or the women from the girls.
Yeah, and it goes back to self doubt, like you said earlier. I mean, you
Yeah.
did all this work, and it's just like you don't think you should be here. I don't know. I mean, I know probably since I came out the womb, I was a little cocky, but when I got to when
As
I
you
got
should.
when I
Yeah.
got to Tennessee, coming from West Virginia, at that time, the only other lady involved from West Virginia was Mary Ostro. I don't even know how to pronounce her last name, so I ain't even going to embarrass myself live right now.
Mary O. We're just gonna call
Mary
her.
O, right? But she was also an Olympian. That was back probably before I was born. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was a pride thing. Like, there is no way at 12 years old the Tennessee coaches are scouting me if they don't think I can play there.
That's right. Exactly.
So in my head now it's like, you guys show them. Let's
Yeah.
go.
And
Yeah, absolutely.
change what you said though. You said you came out the womb cocky. I don't even use that word. Like people like he walked with his head up, and it ain't cocky. I like to tell athletes, you got to have athletic arrogance. That's what you got. You got athletic arrogance because when I'm sitting with you kicking it, you ain't cocky.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
that's true.
what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's athletic arrogance in what you do. That's what it is.
Yeah, I like that pig. I'm gonna use that. I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So what about just kind of off the field?
So off the field, my boy Stack, Steven Jackson. I love Jack. Both our kids, Kai, my youngest Kai, and his son played out of the Mill Creek League a lot. He coached and I coached over the last 3-4 years up in Gwinnett County in Atlanta area. And he said something that stuck with me. It was a long message if y'all ever get to watch his Instagram. But he basically told the young cats, and he said, man, get your life straight at an early age. And what he means by get your priorities straight. It may off the field. It goes, you don't need the club every night. You can go to club. It's like in football, you play on Sunday, you can go to club on Friday night. You know what I'm saying? And hang out, but don't hang out to 3 o'clock in the
Right.
morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, because that's going to affect your performance and that's going to affect your bottom line, your dollars. But also he said, yo, take it from him. He got what? He said he got 3, 4 baby mamas. No, like no, like no. My advice to you, like no, you don't know. You don't need 3, 4 baby mamas, and I think that's the problem. And and I will say what I've noticed with this generation of athletes versus when I was coming up. I had teammates that had kids and they never had a relationship with them. Like I will say, I've noticed with these younger athletes, they're having kids at 21, 22, but you see them with the kids on social media and you see them hanging with the kids. So it's not just they're cutting a check each month for child support, they're actually investing their time. But if
Right.
you got one kid by one woman, make sure to me that second kid be by that same woman. I don't care if y'all hate each other. Just tell her, yo, we locking in. Tonight, baby.
You said you ain't finna be all over the place. Nah, it's all
No,
good.
no, but that creates again psychology. That creates stressors. Like you got this chick over here, that chick over there, and this like, no, you don't need all those stressors. You gotta lock in because this football thing, athletics is like a short time in your life when you really think about it.
Oh
You
yeah.
live to be 80, and the average NFL career is 3 years. So you didn't live 77 years, you know what I'm saying, without what I would like to call a paycheck. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
so, yeah, like you gotta like lock in and be with that one.
Absolutely.
We had a really good question a second ago. It said financially, what helped you become stable? Was it life experiences, college experiences? What kind of helped you kind of develop that business savvy?
I would say life experiences. I think the greatest teacher is experience. And so,
Mm-hmm.
honest with you, growing up in Dayton, Ohio, I didn't have much, and
Right.
so my sisters, my siblings, we used to get we. This is crazy when I think about it. We used to get $1 allowance on Friday and thought we was filthy rich, right? But come that next Friday, they would start off with $0 again. But I would have about 50 to 75 cents.
Yeah.
And so they always used to joan on me like, he never spends his money. And I'm just like, and so I've always had this mindset is you can't spend it all. Like, and I think that's just like starting with those dollars every Friday we were getting as allowance, it helped me learn how to manage money.
Right.
I'm talking about we were like 9 and 10 years old. Like it helped me understand the value of a dollar. And I think that's like, oh, we might have to sell something. Like my wife, she's like, he like nice stuff, but he frivolous. Like, yeah, if we won't get this Gucci bag or this Louis Vuitton purse, I got something in the closet I can sell to help us get. I ain't wore them J's in how long?
That's something
Right.
too,
And you
though.
got shoes for days.
Right. And that's just the mindset. Like I ain't spending all the money we got over here for that. We got something over here we can barter to get
Right.
what
We in the trade and barter system now. I like
right.
it. I like it. Josh had a
Um,
question, P, for you. How do you feel about the direction of the Tennessee program in general?
Oh my God. Have you have is Josh his name Josh?
Yeah, Josh.
we
Josh.
beefing and recruiting right now, aren't we?
Brother, Josh. So I done became real close with the D coordinator from Tennessee. And he recruits the Atlanta area. And I don't know if y'all have seen, but have the number two recruiting class in the country for 2021 right now.
Yep.
Yep.
So, and we just got two dogs committed out of this area yesterday, out of the Georgia area yesterday. And so I'm excited. To be honest with you, I'm excited. And now I tweet out my excitement because anytime we lock one in, I welcome to the hill. I'm like, welcome, young king. Let's go. It's go time. So I'm excited. I think talked to Coach Former Friday. And everybody know he's a new AD, was my coach at Tennessee. But
Mm-hmm.
Philip, Coach Former was just like, he told me, he said, yo, we got the right guy in place. He is the right coach. We just got to get the right players, and we're going to be back on top. And that's my mentality. I think we're going to be back on top, and we're going in the right direction.
I would love for that to happen, P, because I think you are the last championship that was brought to the hill.
That is true. Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
He had a follow up question. Said, "Any chance you'll join the staff?"
Man, so I've been actually running from coaching football in the sense of NCAA and being away from the family, but I will say I would love to be honest with you, at this stage because Caden's locked in and Kai is actually a self motivated and she's locked in her own way and she got a bright future. I know she's gonna be a D1 athlete, and so yeah, I would love to. That's a conversation between me and Coach Former before, but I will say it's been a couple universities tried to snag me up over the years, and I've been locked in with investing in the youth and in this area and in my two.
Yep.
Absolutely. Um, how do you feel about players getting paid in college? I
Good
know we
question.
all,
Good question.
we didn't get to experience these conversations. You got your scholarship check and prayerfully a grant somewhere, and that was it.
Right.
So I'll tell you this: I'm for players getting paid, but
Oh, what happened?
Calm down.
I hope not. Oh, P. Okay, all right, all right. You said you four
Okay.
players getting paid, but what? Oh, can't hear you, P. You got us on mute over there. This actually happened with me and Jamel earlier too. No, but Jay, what did you have to do when we couldn't hear you?
I just left the room and came back in.
All right, all right. He's right back with us. Let me get him back in the view for y'all though. Hold on. Let's get him back. Right. Yep. 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 P, can you hear us?
No,
Nah, man. What'd you do,
it's crazy. We gotta stick with Zoom.
bro? We. No, we can't. Yeah, we gotta stick with Zoom when Josh ain't doing this mess. What up, hey Lou? That's a West Virginia boy too.
Who? Oh,
Aaron
him.
Lewis want to ask that question. I don't know what happened. P's gonna come back in. We don't know what happened. He don't know what happened, but hold that thought. I did see Marie. I did say I'll get back to your question. So until he house back in,
They said
how,
last year the last championship we had.
yeah, that too. That's why I say it's more than time. Um, Maria said, "How can high school athletes work out this summer if gyms and fields are closed? What are some resources?" Well, we definitely provide resources virtually. Zoom, whether it's indoor, like personal training, strength and conditioning, high intensity cardio workouts, and then as well, Jay has access to a field. If you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area, reach out to her, the gold standard. And then also, if you're here, I do Zoom calls, but I'm also going to start opening up driveway lessons as well. So that's, I mean, but the main thing is you got to do the work at home. You got to get creative. You got to get you just got to be innovative and think of use a trash can, use shoes, use water bottles, use I don't care what you use.
Yeah, and
Socks, use cones. I don't care. You just got to
there's
get creative.
public bullshit.
He's hopping in. He's hopping in. Let's see if we can hear him though.
You got to be able to hear me.
Yeah, P, I can hear you now, baby.
I shut the whole phone down. I'm like,
All right, guys, we're gonna get him right back for y'all. There we go.
Okay, so
Uh,
we're speaking on kind of players being played
hey,
paid.
Jay, take a deep breath, baby.
I can't talk today.
I know you struggling, but yeah, P, go ahead. Your opinion about that.
okay, so I am one that think players should be paid. However, there is a caveat. There's no way, and we live in a capitalism world, right? There's no
Yep.
way I'm at the University of Tennessee starting as a sophomore, junior, senior wide receiver, and my backup is in the same class. There's no way we should be paid the same. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's
I mean,
no
but that.
way. And so when I hear this talk and they're saying, okay, I'll give you an example. So at the University of Tennessee, the year I was getting recruited by Tennessee, there was Peyton Manning, and I don't even know Brandon. What was Brandon's last name? But anyway, there were 1, 2 quarterbacks in the country, and Peyton actually was number 2 on a lot of publications. Brandon Stewart.
Mhm.
So when Peyton won the job and became Peyton Manning, and you see his jersey all over the stadium, there's no way the society in the world, there's no way Brandon Stewart should be getting paid the same amount as Peyton Manning. He never played it down. so, so no, like I'm not one that thinks
Oh man.
all athletes should be paid something. But there's levels to this. Like there's like no, they should not all be. There's no way Tua in Alabama and his backup should be making the same amount of money. Now, if his backup goes and performs like Tua did, then yeah, like you earn that right to get paid that. And so I don't know how they would do it because I know now all the talk is they should all get a stipend and a few $1,000s a month. And no, like you're like when you really think about it, there are schools out there that are talking about folding their sports program because the football program is not generating money. So they're talking about they're going to fold this program due to the virus, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so now you're going to tell me this fall, they're saying that even if some of the regular students are not allowed on campus, that some university and presidents are saying the football players are coming back
Yep. I've heard
because
that.
they're generating
And
almost
the NC
90%
State.
of the revenue for the university, right?
Yep.
But then that takes away the student athlete portion of it, right? Because they're not in school. Because the regular kids, the regular students are not there. They
Right.
become just athletes, and you're capitalizing off their likeness and their marketability. And you got all these folks sitting at the top making tens of millions of dollars off these athletes, and you're saying the athletes can't be paid because of amateurism? Who made that word up? Like, what? Like, come on. Like, no. Like, no. I think, but I personally think the NCAA is the biggest crook in America. Like, I like
Yeah, I
there's
agree.
NCAA and then there's insurance, but NCAA is at the top.
Right. Yeah, the NCAA is definitely, and it's crazy because the NCAA, like you said, they leverage all these rules. And number one, you have such a large percentage of the NCAA have never played a sport in their life. They're
Ever.
they're administrators,
Right.
and then they're putting all these stipulations on players, but it doesn't make sense. And
Well,
and they're 5 years, 4 years behind the times. You know
right.
what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah.
NCAA is so behind in its rulings that that's why there's so many gray areas, and they have to continuously add these addendums.
See at the bottom of the ticker today, they're like Zion's people are saying that his family took benefits. You right, he took they like Duke was capitalizing off his likeness and he couldn't. You right, his family took benefits. But the public says Well, they gave you a scholarship. Man, how many athletes really graduate? Like when you do the crunch the numbers, like come on, like, and then
Yeah.
the ones that are that good, most of them are leaving early.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So no, like nah, it doesn't even out. Like you're selling these jerseys in the student campus store with 37 on it with my likeness on it. And who's getting all that money? I'm sure my scholarship has been paid over 10 times over.
Oh yeah.
so,
Oh yeah. Easily.
so can we start paying me some off of it once they get to my scholarship dollars out the way?
Once they
Right.
get their
That's
return on their
enough.
investment, once they
Yeah, they
get
get
that
their return.
return.
Yeah. Come on now.
Absolutely. No, that's a great point, and honestly, you looked at it from a perspective that I think is very realistic. You
Yeah.
know, and especially like trying to figure out what's going to happen with, like you said, with COVID. I mean, some programs are really going to struggle. Um, I think the Power Fives are going to be solid, but those mid-major D1 schools, it's going to be tough.
Right, exactly. Like Caden school, my daughter's school, Coastal Carolina. Like yeah, like they already talking about, well, we might not do X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
So what do schools like that do? Because the football basically generating, I would say at Coastal University, those smaller universities, football is probably the only sport generating revenue.
Yeah, that's probably a definite fact. And even and it's crazy, it's scary. It's like, yeah, everybody loves football. It definitely produces all the revenue, but it's still jeopardizing their health at the
Yeah.
beginning, right? Until this thing is really kind of under wraps. You want to bring back these kids. Football is a contact sport.
Right,
We sweating, spitting, slobbering, everything. You know what I'm saying? You get
right,
cut, you got open wounds, you can handle some of them. Sometimes, most times, you just wipe it off on the jersey uniform, keep it moving. So you're just talking about, like, for me, I'm low key like a germaphobe just a little bit. So I'm just like, does
yeah,
it really make sense for y'all to get y'all's millions and then hundreds could die
right.
or thousands could die? Like, is it really worth it?
No, it's not. And like you said, football, and I heard Herm Edwards say it, football is not a social distancing sport.
You
Oh, now,
you man.
It's not. It can't happen.
well, we got golf. I mean,
Right.
we got the
um,
social.
Not. I would say volleyball, but no, because once
No.
the ball is lost,
Tennis more so volleyball.
yeah, man, it's. I mean, not really much you can sports wise that you can really go into safely, like really 100% feeling safe. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's tough. Uh,
Aaron had
yeah,
another question. He said, "You are a great route runner and hands catcher. What wide receiver currently in the NFL resembles your game?"
that's them dub B. That's that West Virginia bringing y'all these heat. This question. I see you, hey Lou.
Oh,
What up?
okay. What wide receiver right now? That's a good question. I'm gonna tell you my favorite wide receiver right now is Odell Beckham. I
Oh,
think he is naturally gifted more so than any wide receiver before him besides Randy Moss. So he's my favorite. Just his route running, his skill level, and his confidence, his athletic arrogance. It jumps off the charts.
yeah, it's that one is off the charts, boy.
Yeah, and so I love him. And honestly, I would say, what's the kid the Falcons just drafted in the first round from Alabama? Uh,
Don't let me get to line P. Don't let me.
I'm gonna tell you, he is. I think he is a lot like me. Um, See, Alabama have all. I just remember the guys that got drafted. This Judy and Henry Ruggs. Them jokers got first round picks, 20 a year. I'm forgetting which receiver went. It was what is his name? But I think I like him, and he's about he's 6 feet 190, so he's my size and a great route runner, fast, quick guy. Calvin Ridley.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Calvin Ridley. That's who I think my game. 6 feet 190, in and out of breaks quick, catch ball with his hands, go up and get it. Um, go up and get it. When what I like about him is since he's 6 feet, a lot of people don't want it. They don't think he can go get the jump ball. But when they throw it up and it's 1-on-1, he goes and get that thing. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, like Joe, just because I'm 6 feet, like don't get it twisted. Uh, so I think I like Calvin really, who's closest to my game, but my favorite is Odell Beckham.
Yeah, he's cold.
Yeah,
He does some amazing catches. That's just
yeah,
you're right. Probably since Randy, like he does some amazing things.
yeah. Tell him, hold on, I'm getting some money.
I guess to kind of wrap it up, kind of what have you been doing to kind of stay sane and stay busy during this time, and what's next for Peerless Price?
Oh man, to be honest with you, man, I will say I've been locking in. I've been locking in working out like crazy. They laugh at me. The family talking about your workouts last 3 hours. And so it's just, man, I didn't got back into the I actually didn't got back into like lifting the way I did at Tennessee. Like
Okay.
the Olympic lifts, power clean, hang snatch,
Yeah.
split jerk. So I've implemented that back tough and then going heavy on my bench press and squat. A lot of, like I was squatting when I was at Tennessee, I was squatting 525. And so
Oh, all right, big guy. All right.
yeah. And so now I'll be putting 315, 330 on there, getting it for reps. And I hadn't done that in eons, like
Right.
years. Cause I was just like, yo, I work out now to be healthy and to look
Yeah.
the
To look the part, right? You gotta always look like an athlete.
yeah. And so, but now, so I've been doing that, and then getting out there with Caden and Kai, doing soccer stuff, basketball stuff. Me and Kai got Caden doing some more basketball stuff. She's like, I ain't touching basketball since I was a junior in high school.
It is different when you leave it and then come back. It's definitely
Uh-huh. Yeah, like if somebody, so I've been, and I was training a kid last week. So I started training this a football player. His younger sister plays with Kyle on the soccer team. And he was like, when the last time you ran a route and caught a ball? I'm like, yo, I catch a ball standing here, but I don't know the last time I didn't ran a route caught a ball. And so, like you said, getting back into it. So I actually did in some sneakers. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, yo, I used to do like with 11 guys on the other side running a slant, a dig route in there with them linebackers. No, that don't make good sense now.
say you ain't trying to go back in all that, huh?
No, but it was different just getting back in it and actually doing it. Like you said, it's different when you
Oh yeah.
don't do the act.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And man, I know we'll get out there. Sandra and I will get out there on the court with our girls, like our high school girls, sometimes in middle school, but more so our high school girls, open gym. And first off, your wind ain't the same when you don't train like that. And
Hmm.
then, which means your mind is always gonna be there, right? So you're willing to
Right.
make most of this, but your legs ain't there. And as an athlete, I was speed, athleticism, I could jump,
Hmm.
and so when you don't have that, you have to almost adjust your entire game. So now I made it a mission to slowly start integrating. I keep telling the kids, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
coming for
See,
you.
hey,
Absolutely.
Lex, what's crazy is, dude, I'm more of a basketball player now than a football player.
Right.
That's right, because you spend more
Because I
time
play
doing
all
it.
the
Though.
time. I train all the time.
Yep,
Hmm.
Like, yo, you want to go play? You want to go hoop? You can do that all day.
yep, yep.
Absolutely.
My knees don't hold up the same. They were never great, but now
Yeah,
I
yeah, you got the
now I'm way
hooper
more
knees.
cautious.
Yeah.
Way more cautious now. We got
Right.
a question from Kenneth Reed. The previous two UT coaches were not known for getting former players involved. Is this current administration doing a better job of keeping past players involved? Great question, Kenneth. Thank you.
So that is a great question, and I would say this: I've never had that issue with any of the coaches, so I'm not going to knock them. But I do know teammates that have, because I've actually had teammates call me and say, "Yo, can you get me tickets?" And I feel like that's a slap in the face. And actually, one of them was actually a starter on our national championship team. Now, he didn't go on to have great success after Tennessee, but I felt some type of way when I got that call from him. So
Right.
tickets, but I'm like, that is a slap in the face. So me personally, I've never had that issue, but I heard it's going on. But it's much better now, especially with you got to remember we got Coach Former as the athletic director,
Yeah.
and so Coach Former
Right.
jumped down my throat just this Friday when he called to talk about my degree, and he said, "How many games did you come to last year?" And I was like, "Oh," he was like, "Look, I made it my point to get you." He said cuss words, but he was like, "I need you, your family, to be around more." And he was like, we are a family and it goes beyond football. And so he was just like, I want your daughters to know me, to know who I am. I want your daughters to know who Coach Pruitt is. And
Right.
so to answer that question, yeah, they're doing an outstanding job, and I think it starts at the top with Coach Former, who's the athletic director. And so he's been the most successful football coach in Tennessee history. And so I think Coach Pruitt gets it though. Like you got to remember, some of them coaches we had, they're not SEC guys. They don't understand how the SEC work, how
Yeah.
football in the South works. Like
Right.
it's different.
It is different.
A different beast.
Right, like these jokers ain't going to the Falcons game and the Falcons start if they lose two in a row, but they going to Georgia game and LSU and Tennessee, like them jokers
Yep.
going. So it's
Yeah.
different for college football in the South, and I think a couple of previous coaches just didn't get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell Farmer to spread that love across all sports. Tell him to get with all the head coaches of all sports.
Right.
And I got you. I got
Because I'm not saying that the Lady Ball coaching staff are definitely not. They're very appreciative of when we come back, and they do. They'll set up certain things to bring us back more so in groups. My thing was always listen, especially anybody who, like you say, was members of championship teams. I don't care if it was
right,
SEC championships or NCAA championships. That's something big for the school and the program and the recruiting.
right.
And the more people you can get to feel like their blood, sweat, and tears was more than worth it, it's going to help your program because now you have people indirectly recruiting instead of leaving college and feeling a certain type of way and being
That's right.
like, oh yeah, I did go there, it's whatever. You never want that.
Right.
I've been bleeding orange since I was 12 years old, so I would hate for anything to ever happen, and I'd be like, man, it's whatever. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
it's important to take care of your family and not just act like we're family when you have oh, we're inviting back the freaking I don't know what year SEC championship team. Like, okay,
Yeah.
that's cool and everything, right? It's good to see everybody, but send out a little care package. Hey, rooting for you. Here's a couple a t-shirt or a hat or something. Hey, we would love. Let me know when you
Yeah.
want to come to a game. Something that small
You're right. I agree.
to everybody, not select to
Yeah,
everybody.
no, I like I
Yeah.
said, like I've never had that issue, and but I think if they do it to one, they do it to all, and that's just been my mindset. And so, just
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
I've never experienced I actually saw Butch Jones in the Louis Vuitton store, and we chopped it up for 2 hours.
Wow. At the store?
Yeah, like he was in it, but I see that's what I'm saying. Like in Tennessee, hate Butch Jones, and so me and him had a long conversation. And to be honest with you, I always liked Coach Jones. Like anytime I went there, even like when my oldest daughter Kay went on a visit, it's like Coach Jones want to see y'all. We go up there. He go in the back. He's showing up. He's showing me and Kay and his Rolex collection and his Jordan collection in the back of his office.
Yeah.
So I've never had issues with. I have not. Like they've always taken care of me. But I do know teammates, and so when I see
Yeah.
that, like, oh, you can't do it to me and treat me
Mhm.
a certain way and not treat my brother the same way. And I
Right.
think because that goes back to life. Just because I was blessed to be able to do X, Y, and Z doesn't make me better than the next man.
Right.
Right.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Pass that word along. I mean, I have a lot of my lady ball sisters that, unfortunately, I mean, now we're since Coach died, we're on our second coaching change. But it's I'm big on family, P man. I just want everybody to feel welcome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want you to want to come back because when I was in school, the former players wanted to come back. Pat made
Yeah.
sure they came back.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, what do you think? You got host club, catching, Lawson, but you got people walking in the building that you remember watching on TV. And now they here to
Mhm.
come, number one, bust your tail, but number two, drop some knowledge on you and just let you know that they're here for you. You know what I mean?
Right.
As a big sister perspective. And people don't understand, like, Tennessee, it's a family atmosphere at the end of the day.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, Lex, you got anything else?
Man, I don't have anything else. All I would like to say is, Pete, thank you for being an upstanding, outstanding guy. Especially, I know people like, why you gotta make it about race? But thank you for being one of those black men, the number one, family oriented. Take care of your kids. Make sure they're good, your family's good, but also being a businessman on top
Yeah.
of being a professional and continuing to extend your greatness in other avenues. So thank you for that, and thank you for being our guest.
Yes, we appreciate you. We apologize for the technical difficulties.
Oh man, thank y'all. Hey, and I just want to thank y'all for doing this. Like, this is a business and this is social and this is like getting the word out about who y'all are and getting people on to share their story. It's huge and we need it in the community. We need it for the culture. And anytime y'all need me, y'all just give me a shout. I'm there. I appreciate y'all.
Man,
Man,
thank
appreciate it,
y'all.
brother.
Everybody,
Thank
thank y'all for tuning in. But go ahead and let the people know how we about to head out.
you. You already know we just always like to keep it unfiltered in our truth and, keep it in the family. So everybody stay safe. The world is not open yet. Stay at home.
Yeah, stay home and wash your hands.